You're probably tired of doing interviews at this point.
No.
How many dumb radio people have you talked to already today?
Like 100.
And I'm number 101. Okay. It's good to see you guys. I see you're not in the same location. Are you even in the same city? Are you here in Columbus? Where are you?
This room has a different kind of like wallpaper on each side. He's just right on the other side. He's right there.
I see. You're trying to maintain a safe distance from one another?
Yeah.
Yeah. He gave me the pineapple wall.
Oh, I do like that paper. I wouldn't even know where to find wallpaper like that anymore. That's pretty classy.
It came with the house. I don't know either.
Yeah, just keep it. Just keep it. So how you guys doing? All right?
Yeah.
We're doing great.
Good. I just saw on Twitter that you're doing MTV Unplugged, which they just brought that back recently. I think that's very exciting. This is a perfect fit.
We are excited about that. We've been working on that set that we're going to be doing. We've been working on it for a while because we wanted it to be a little different. MTV Unplugged, you think of, an acoustic guitar or something unplugged. I guess for me, my interpretation of the series is more presenting an artist or a band in a way that they don't usually and traditionally present themselves. So I guess to give you a little teaser, the idea is, Josh and I, when we play as a two-man band, we play to pre-recorded tracks, and we're not ashamed of that at all. In fact, we're proud of the tracks because we made them ourselves, but it is a pre-recorded track. For MTV Unplugged, what we plan on doing is working on building out the track, each component in real time in front of the audience, and kind of looping each part and making it each song will kind of end up very different from the way that people know the song. So we're really excited about it. It's just going to take a lot of work.
Yeah, that looping technology is pretty wild what you can do to the point where it takes, I would imagine, a great deal of concentration to do it.
Yeah, you're walking a tightrope.
Yeah,
because you've got it's coming back around. You got to make sure you end that part at the right time, because if you mess that up, that's going to be a part of the rest of the song. And it actually goes even deeper into that than you may think. Like there are ways to program the computer to kind of start, stop, recall what you just recorded, so that you can focus on getting to more instruments and layering to more instruments without having to also be a part of the command of start loop, stop loop, recall loop, all that stuff. So it gets real involved, and there's a lot of prep to go into it. But then also at the same time, the execution's got to be there, or it's going to completely flop. So.
Oh man, you're stressing me out now.
Yep, that's what we do.
That's how we feel too, though.
Are you okay, Josh? I understand you're going to sing, right?
Oh yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, like take a lead vocal. What are we talking about here?
I mean,
there are moments you're going to be singing by yourself, bro. I hope you're ready.
Tyler's been teaching me.
Oh no, come on. Well, I can't wait for it. So you're taping June 9th, or it's airing June 9th?
It's airing June 9th. And I don't even really know what that means, airing. I think it's just going to be on YouTube, but I'm sure MTV will be releasing it in the way that they do. We are actually performing it a little bit earlier than that, and then it goes up. They like to have a little bit of time.
Isn't there a crappy reality show they could push off the schedule and put you guys in its place? I'd rather watch you guys.
I love ridiculousness.
Okay, fair enough. Well, as long as we're talking about stuff to watch, the cinema experience is coming on May 19th to theaters worldwide, including right here in Columbus, 21pilots.com/film. I know our friends at the Gateway Film Center are among the theaters screening that, and you can see it as well Sunday, May 22nd. The director, Jason Zada, I was looking him up a bit. He kind of comes from the world of interactive media. Was that specific attribute important to you guys? Because he comes at this from, I think you guys are so visual in what you do. What did he bring that drew you in to the project with him?
Yeah, he had a few things that he had done in the past that was very, interactive, but through a screen. And that was what we were interested in. It's like, because we know how to get up on stage and connect with a real live audience, to really interact with them. That's what we've been doing our whole careers. But then to kind of, be forced to do a live stream concert because live music had pressed pause. We knew we wanted to collaborate with someone who knew how to take advantage of some of those tricks, and really kind of understood how we wanted to engage an audience through a screen. Now, we knew that we weren't going to be able to just take our live performance that we do on stage and throw up some cameras and just have people watch it at home. We knew we had to do something completely different, keeping people engaged each song, which required a lot of movement, a lot of rehearsing and blocking and camera movement and lights changing and different sets. And, we rented out an entire arena and put there was a bunch of different sets and different stages all over the arena. And we had to time out getting to each one in time so that it all kind of flowed together. And it was an undertaking. It was, 8 months of preparation before we actually did it and pressed record and or pressed, sent it out live, and then we took the recording of it and we held on to it. You would think that, we probably should have been, plastering it all over our, YouTube and have people rewatch it whenever they wanted, but really we just kind of kept it all in house and waited. And then this, movie theater experience came along where it's like, hey, it makes sense. Let's do a one-time showing of this thing all over the country and even the world. And so what we got to do is we got to go back and mix the audio correctly to make sure that everything was like really big for a movie theater, which is a part of that experience at a theater. And we really wanted to make sure that we took advantage of that. So it took some learning and some, I'll tell you what, when you mix songs and audio for a movie theater, it's completely different than, for your speakers for an album. It's a different medium for sure. And so it was exciting, and we're excited for people to see it.
So Josh, do you have to go into an actual movie theater before you put the stamp of approval on this thing and actually watch it? And I think more importantly, as to Tyler's point, to hear it, because I imagine there are things that you're going to hear in the theater that you're like, wait, what was that? Because it's so big and the technology is so amazing.
Yeah, I think that's really one of the most kind of like amazing parts about going to a movie theater. Obviously, like having a bigger screen to watch something is really cool, but when you go, you definitely you feel and hear kind of everything around you and happening, and you feel like you're really enveloped in that experience. And so the audio of this, especially given that it's a musical performance, I think that's something that we don't take lightly. And like Tyler said, the mixing process of this and recording it for kind of like cinema ready is a big deal. And also like you said, just kind of like an art and a science in itself that is kind of fascinating.
Absolutely. So there's 20 minutes of unseen footage as compared to what people saw online during the pandemic. Is it more music, or is it some behind the scenes stuff? What can you share about that?
It's unseen, so we have no idea what it is.
Oh,
It hasn't been.
Think about it. It could be anything. Yeah. No one knows. We just we threw it into the project and we hope that it makes sense.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe it could be you two solving mysteries or something.
Yeah. No, it actually is some, behind the scenes showing kind of how things were pulled off and, how we moved from one thing to the next and some of the preparation that went into it. And I make a comment in there at one point, like, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done, but at the same time, I feel like I've been preparing my whole life for this, because when I was little, going on family vacations, we would set up a home video camera and do, pretend music videos in front of the camera all the time. And when I said that, I was watching this stuff, so it has been seen. And I said, it'd be really cool to grab one of those, old vintage, family videos and actually put it in. So we turned one of these VHSs into a digital medium and put it into it. So you'll see me. I think me and my family, I'm probably like 6 or 7 years old and singing the lead vocals to Bob Moran by the Beach Boys. So
that's awesome. Well, you've saved all this stuff. You must have a big attic or something.
Yeah.
Block tapes. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we look forward to that. Again, that's the 19th and again, the 22nd. Now, will this live on Blu-ray or somewhere, or is this it?
That's a good question. I don't know if we know the answer to that, but that should tell you that it could be it.
Well, it's kind of like going to a concert.
Yeah.
You go to the show, you experience it live, and
That's
the
over.
next time you see the band, it'll be different. And you've got some shows coming up, Cincinnati on the 21st, Cleveland of August, and then the 30th of August. And I know you had the shows here, the three of them. I was going to a crew game when you guys were here during your last residency, and there were kids camped out in the park across the street from the arena, and their sign said that their show was in 2 days. So that's and it wasn't particularly warm out. So
Yeah, we have some survivalists.
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do. There's no question. I didn't see any camp stoves or anything like that, but I don't know. As a parent, I was like, "Are you guys?" They seemed okay. They seemed to be having a good time.
Yeah, we're thinking about maybe pitching it to Discovery as its own like reality show, like
There you
people
go.
surviving in line before a concert.
Was that something you guys did when you were kids? Did you ever camp out to see somebody that you wanted to see, and you just had to be there, even though maybe they had assigned seats? You still wanted to be there and just hang out? Were you guys campers?
I never camped. I did stand in line for a while to go see the Killers when I was younger. I remember that.
Yeah.
That one stood out to me. But I never stayed the night. I don't think when I was younger, I don't think my parents would have been cool with that.
There's no way my parents would have ever let me do anything like that.
Yeah. Even today, they won't let me do that.
Hey, and I don't even know if you guys can speak to this, but I was looking at your tour dates, and you're supposed to play a festival in Kyiv in Ukraine in July. Is it on our website? It's on polestar.com. And
Okay,
the website for the festival still exists, but it's all in Ukrainian. So
yeah, that's since been removed. You know, we did a little inside baseball for you. There's been some, you know, when bands pull down their shows, especially, you know, specifically in the Ukraine, sometimes they'll just pull and make an announcement, we're not playing there anymore. And then the local promoters that are putting on the festival are kind of blindsided. So what we did was we tried to keep in contact and in open communication with the people in Ukraine that were the concert promoters that were putting on the festival. And of course, they were trying to stay as optimistic as possible. And, you know, and so we really just followed their lead on, you know, we're in as long as it makes sense. And then I think there was a turning point where they had to allot some of their resources to, you know, the war efforts, and they realized like, it's just, this year is just not going to happen. So we followed their lead on that. But I don't know. I don't know. It would be an amazing kind of victorious, celebratory thing to one day be able to play live music in Ukraine again, but I don't know when that would be. It's been some of the most amazing fans there. And so, you know, specifically some great show that was, you know, memorable. And, you know, we've shot music videos in Ukraine. So it is it's sad that, you know, as much as it to us, it's just, hey, we just took a concert off. It's no longer on our schedule. It did hit harder than just that. So, well,
here's hoping we can make this happen, because when you look at what live music does to bring people together, and it's so incompatible with war and death. This is supposed to be love and celebration, and I think that is a good marker for when we've achieved peace here. That fellas like yourself can go back there and play. Real quick before we wrap it up, because I'm getting the red light here that I need to wrap it up. Each of you, the first movie you ever went to as a kid, since we're talking about going to the theater.
Star Wars, I think it's episode 2. That was the one that I remember. I was probably in 7th grade at that point, so I'm sure I'd seen a movie in the theaters, but that for some reason that's as far back as I can go.
All right, Josh.
I think mine was Toy Story.
Oh.
Yeah, that movie remains one of my favorite movies still.
Oh, all 4 of them are outstanding. And I love, you know, I would take my kids to them, and there's something for the grown-ups and there's something for the kids, and only the grown-ups laugh at some of the gags. It's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, one more question for each of you. Number 1 essential movie theater snack.
I think just classic corn for me.
All right. Do you dump all that gooey butter on it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ugh. I don't, because it gets all cold and soggy. It's gross. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we cannot eat from the same box.
Well, I think the bag's pretty much gone before the movie starts, so it gets eaten pretty quick.
All right, fair enough.
While I don't condone this, I grew up in a household that would sneak food in. Okay. So
yeah,
you'd be surprised. We'd bring in meatloaf. I mean, we'd bring in all
meatloaf.
Yep.
Are you
Three course meals into those places.
How do you
my mom snuck children into theaters. So
wow.
Food was never an issue. But I've since corrected my ways. I'm no longer a criminal, and I guess I have to go with the what are those mints? The
junior mints?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the junior.
Fair enough. Your mother, I just have this picture of your mother with Tupperware containers of meatloaf stuffed in her purse.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. You know what? I'm going to try that.
You should.
Meatloaf in the theater. Why not?
Rotisserie chicken. You never know.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to bring it to your show on the 19th and also additional screenings on the 22nd. Just go to 21pilots.com/film to find the theater most convenient to you and see it as it should be seen in the theater. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. We'll see you here in Columbus again soon.